Welcome to the CEN show, the voice of the world community. The website communityeducationnetwork.com, the podcast Conscious Corner, and this show are platforms to aid the effort of self and collective improvement. Yesterday on Conscious Corner, we had two dynamic guests related to fashion, and the show was excellent in my opinion. So let me share that show with everyone. So just in case you want to check it out, you can. All right. Okay, you could go to the website and go to podcast. And right here it says Conscious Corner, Queen Amina and Carmen Muhammad. Those was the guests yesterday on Conscious Corner, and on the website you can listen to the audio, and then on YouTube, you can go to the YouTube channel and you can listen to it there and see a couple of faces. All right. So now I'm your guest, Raski Maskani. Tonight's guest is Kathy Williams. We grew up together on the same street, and she's like a family member. Tonight's topic is her son, David Lee Player. Good evening, Kathy. How are you? If you like, you can tell us some things about yourself, and please begin your presentation.
Hi, I'm Kathy Williams. I was born and raised in Compton. I've been working polling booths for years. I've been a member of the NAACP. I've been working elections, vote no on the recalls is my most recent. But anyway, I just want to bring some awareness to my son's case. I know he's not the only one that's just doing time after being tried as a juvenile. So I just wanted to bring some awareness and see if I can get some more ideas. Like so far, I'm not like really totally technology inclined. So I've been doing a lot of letter writing. And I want to get my letters out to the right people. And maybe by doing this presentation, somebody can give me some tips or some ideas on which way to head. So I want to start with the letter I wrote. I wrote this on my son's 40th birthday, and we've had a lot of letters written back and forth in those years. But okay, I started at the top of the totem pole with the president. So I've had quite a few get out there, but I just wrote, hello, my name is Catherine Williams. I'm writing this letter on behalf of my son, David Lee Player III, who is an inmate at California State Prison, Represa, California. My son was incarcerated at the age of 17, tried as an adult, and I strongly believe that he's done his time and then some. Today is his birthday. He's now 40 years old. Mind you, this was in 2021. He's not allowed to do much as far as classes or anything. He spends a lot of time writing. He's written a book, trying to let other young people know the pitfalls of being a product of your environment. On December 18th, 2015, I received the most incredible gift. On that day, by President Pardon, 61 drug offenders' sentences were commuted, including more than a third serving life sentences. My son was incarcerated, serving a lifetime sentence without parole at California State Prison for robbery in a liquor store. My son's story isn't any different from most young minority men. As a teenager, he was introduced to the wrong crowd, made a series of poor choices, and ultimately got caught up in something bigger than him. At the time, he was sentenced and tried as an adult, and he was a minor. The case is an illustration of the difficulties and problems that result from the application of mandatory minimum sentences. He was not an adult, and he didn't deserve a life sentence, and there's no way that they should have legally given him so much time. He served over 23 years. He survived many trials during that time. The most impactful was the loss of his father. We have many losses at that time. He lost his little sister and his two nieces all at the same time. His grandmother, his auntie, during the years, he's had a lot of loss. In addition to his youth and developmental years, he was told his sentence would cost taxpayers millions of dollars. That information notified me of the commutation. It stated that the presidential power to grant commutations and pardons embodies the basic belief in our democracy that people deserve a second chance after having made a mistake in their lives that led to a conviction under the laws. I also recognize there needs to be a push to overhaul the US criminal justice system, which unfairly targets certain segments of society. I've been pressed hard to just how I could write this letter and believe that someone is willing to give my son a second chance. He has a huge mountain to climb and it's going to be a lot of work. However, he intends to do his best so that the decision you make to believe in him won't be a poor one. My trust in God, family, and true friends has always been and will continue to be his guiding force. He knows to whom is given, much is required. I pray that this letter reaches someone with a heart to feel a mother's pain and an ear to hear David's story. So, starting with that, basically that's the letters that I've been putting out, and oh, it's a long list of people that got them. He wanted Kim Kardashian, Snoop Dogg, but I started with the chain of government. So this is the idea of the letters that I send out. Like, can you guys see those?
It's kind of dark. I
Oh,
see a little bit.
yeah, they're just
Yeah.
hot pink envelopes, and so just
Okay.
any there. I just figured that because I just picked a hot pink because first of all, pink is my favorite color, and then it's loud. So people be like, "Dang, another one of those." So I started sending them in twos and threes. Now I'm sending them in fives and sevens. And basically, initially, the juvenile public defender really tried hard to keep his case in the juvenile system. She thought that David had a good sense of humor and that he was very intelligent. And she cried when they got the time, when they gave him the time. She asked for a change of venue after discovering that the relationship between the store owners, the police, and the people of the courts, after discovering the relationship, basically she asked for a change of venue. They denied that. There was no psychological evaluation, which was constantly mentioned but never given, and he had been diagnosed as bipolar previously. So I've been, like I said, I've been active in politics, and as a child, my Uncle Junior, everybody thought Uncle Junior was crazy, but really he wasn't, because he told us that the scales of justice will never weigh in your favor. And I didn't understand that until I started, really trying to do some things. And so to get the results that we needed, the NAACP, like I said, I was active in that. And in order to get the results that we needed, there was no attorneys at that time in that county that, that we could use. And so, but they did, Mamie Darlington and Willie Douglas from the NAACP, they contacted David. And, but basically by them not having an attorney, they really couldn't do much. So I had contacted the Innocence Project, David contacted the Innocence Project, and they told him basically they couldn't help him. So I just have like a bunch of notepads with a bunch of numbers, and that's it. I just want to say that it's about time for him to come home. And if they have all these, and like during the COVID time, they were releasing prisoners then, but they didn't even, basically wasn't even mentioned for him. And also he had told me that he had a release date of 2080 something, and they dropped it to 2040 something. I'm like, no, they should drop it to like now, like ASAP. So that's my presentation, and I would like to have any ideas or questions anybody would like to ask me.
Okay, let's start with, because yeah, we have a few people on here who may have some ideas when it comes to that. I'm not really sure on what more that you can do. I know that they have this organization called change.org, and they always do a bunch of petitions, and they help people. So that may be something you may want to look to see if you
Okay.
can get some assistance. It's change.org. I get emails from them daily about a whole bunch of different subjects. So let's start with, we have a few new people here. We have Ty Lovely. Can you unmute? That looks something like you, Kathy. Is that one of your kids?
Ty?
Yes.
I don't know. That's what I wanted to learn how to navigate through so I can see.
Well, you can't see like all the names on the screen.
Oh, okay, I see. Well, the picture is not clear. Oh,
Oh, okay.
that looks like I don't know.
Well, we have Ty Lovely. She didn't unmute, so we're just gonna move on to Gerard Triggs or
Oh,
Triggs. You know who that is?
that's my son. That's David's brother.
Oh, okay. You want to unmute and you have a comment or question for mom? I guess he's just listening. Let's go to Sister Make It Happen, Miss Shabazz.
Greetings, family. Greetings, everyone. Welcome, Sister Williams. I'm recently joining in, so I didn't hear the full presentation. Did sound like my mother was doing some work around her son. I'd like to hear more about what's going on with David, I believe that's his name, and perhaps I may have some ideas or resources or recommendations.
So you can briefly kind of state what you said, just a little information for Kathy.
Oh, yeah, basically what I've done so far is I started off like with the NAACP, the Innocence Project. And then like as I go along, I'll see something on the CBS or the NBC News or something. I'll take those numbers and call them or do those emails. But my recent thing is like since 2021, I just basically started getting the letters out, like President Biden, Obama, the chain of command for governor's office. And that's what I've been doing is writing.
So basically her son was tried as an adult at age 17, that's correct?
Yes.
Yeah, he was tried as an adult, and they gave him many years and he should have been tried as a juvenile. So I'll come back to you, Sister Make It Happen.
Thank you.
Miss Spears, can you unmute or are you not able to? Oh, there she is.
Okay, I can hear you guys, but I don't have a comment. I'm just listening.
Okay, thank you for coming. Okay, Brother Bashenda.
Used to be Madame's dressing room, the whole room. That didn't leave much for Wallace Reed.
I'm gonna go ahead and mute you, Miss Spears. Brother Mashenda, you must have stepped away. Brother Doctor?
It sounds like she's reaching out to a lot of people. Let me ask you, was this a federal case or a state case?
State.
Okay, so the president wouldn't have anything to do with it. You have to get with the governor. Someone can correct me, because I don't think the president can commute anyone on a state term. It has to be the governor, but someone know you can correct me. So you have to get someone, and this is California, right?
Right.
Yeah, so you have to give someone, you have to give them their circle that knows someone that knows Newsom. And now let me ask you this, because you said you were contacting the Innocent Project.
Mm-hmm.
Now, is he innocent? He didn't do this crime?
No, actually he did the crime, but
Okay, no, that's fine. No,
yeah.
Yes, okay, I was curious. And how much time did he receive?
Actually, initially, I think it was like 34 with an L.
34 with that. How long has he been in now? Is that how much percent? Do you have to do 80% of that 34?
I'm
Okay,
not
most likely,
sure.
yeah, because it's
Most likely they
yeah.
said that with state, you have to do 80% of your
Yeah,
time.
has to at least
before you can
80%.
even be considered.
And what's his, well, I was gonna say EPRD. What's his early possible release date, parole date?
Like now it's like 2040 or something like that.
That's his earliest date for parole is 2040?
Yeah.
Oh. Oh. And how long has he been in there now?
This is going to be 22 years.
22 years. Wow. You know what, Rusky, come back to me. Let me think about what, okay, when did he get convicted?
He got convicted in 1998. He went to jail in 1997.
Okay. And he got, what was his time? How much did he get?
It was like 34 with the L.
34, he's been in there 22, you said now, 22 years?
Yeah. Because he
You
was,
said it
he
was
had
robbery,
already,
right?
yeah. He
Was
had
it with a
already,
firearm too? Was it, did it gun
yeah,
enhancement, firearm enhancement?
yeah.
Was he alone or did he have any co-defendants?
No, actually, he had two co-defendants, and one was 15 and the other one was 13. And by him being the older one, the two younger ones basically, you know, they made it look like he made them do it.
Okay, now let me ask you, is this his first strike or did he have any other felony conviction before this?
No, he never had no felony convictions, but he had been in trouble like being younger, like
No, yeah, don't go into that. Just, did he have any other felonies?
no, that's
This
his
is
first.
only first felony, the 211, 67.5. That's the only one he committed, and he did that at 17, right?
Right.
And was he in school at the time? Was he going to school?
Actually, no, he
Working
wasn't
or
going.
anything like that?
Huh?
Was he working, going to school or anything like that?
He wasn't working or going to school at that time.
Okay. All right, Roski.
Okay. Brother Hembrick,
I have a question, was anybody killed during this robbery?
No.
That seemed like a lot of time. You should only get 7 years for murder. I think gonna give a teenager 30, 40 years for robbing a liquor store and nobody got killed. That seems ludicrous to me. I don't know. I don't have any advice for you, sister, other than maybe those little handkerchief head Negroes that's from around here that's up in Sacramento. What's his name? Brother wearing the bow ties now, Dr. Rod taking Isidore's place. What's his name?
Mike Gibson.
Yeah, Gibson and the senator, the brother that's a state senator from Gardena.
Bradford. Steve Bradford.
Yeah, Bradford. Yeah.
Okay, Steve Bradford and what was the other name?
Mike Gibson.
Okay. Yeah, I appreciate everybody's input because I'm gonna knock on every door.
That seems excessive. What did he pistol whip the store owner or something?
No, actually, when he robbed the store, he already robbed the store, and then an off-duty police officer came and the store. Oh, when he was leaving the store, the people shot at him. He tried to shoot back, but the gun jammed. So the off-duty police officer, him and another police officer caught him, and that's when the nightmare started. I mean, you know, this time started.
Okay. All right. Appreciate your situation, sister.
And thank you for the info. I appreciate it.
Well,
okay, Ms. Shabazz,
Yes, Sister Williams, I have a question. Have you heard of an organization called Mothers of Incarcerated Sons Society?
No.
So, yes, called Mothers
Mhm.
of Incarcerated Sons Society, Inc. MISS
Okay.
for short, MISS for short. But I just actually Googled it, you know. Well, I did want to give you my, send my love to you. You know, I know that's very challenging. I have family members, cousins that are doing L's, and it is very challenging as, you know, a family member. And so I'm just praying that you have support from your core family through this process. You know, my aunties have been going through a lot with my cousins. And so I always think about mothers who are dealing with this with their children, their sons or daughters. But I was able to find this organization, and it's a Black woman. She's a social worker. She created this in 1992. So perhaps you can reach out to her perhaps you can connect with her on social media, and perhaps she can give you some better ideas or direction in terms of some support or additional resources. But I just actually just put in on Google and researched it, and it came up like that. So wanted to share that with you.
Oh, God bless you. I really appreciate the information. Any information I get, I'm gonna follow through, and I really appreciate you catching it. I mean, giving me the information and actually looking that up and finding it for me, because I didn't look for a whole lot, and that's the first time I saw that one.
Now she's not in California. It looks like she's in Michigan, but I would still connect, because you never know what type of connection she might have out here. And this,
Right.
all we can do is connect with one another and see how we can support.
I will. Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Okay, Professor Ra.
Appreciate what's been said, if I understand correctly. And again, we deeply are concerned about the challenges you face as a mother with a son that's been locked up for this long. Just have a few questions. I'm not trying to be intrusive, but just for a point of clarification and to help you with direction. What
Okay.
court was this an area he was in? What court?
San Joaquin County.
King County.
San Joaquin County, that's up north. That's like the county before you get to Sacramento.
Yeah.
It's like 39, it's like 39 miles from Sacramento.
All right, and so is that where that's where he was tried?
Yeah, and we tried to get the case
Change of
change it.
venue, yeah. But
Yeah.
then, okay, but what city was that they accused him of robbing? Was it a store?
Yeah, it was a store in Stockton, California.
So it was in Stockton. Okay, because see that's why you get. I'll get into that in a minute. Second, is the judge that sentenced him still alive?
Excuse me?
Is the judge that sentenced him still alive?
Oh, I don't even know. When I went back to look for the court thing, the only one I really looked up was Duran Berg, and I can't find her anywhere. That was the one that was helping him as a juvenile, trying to get him to stay trialed in a juvenile court. And because she was really the only one that was giving any kind of assistance or even listening to me, because at that time I had
Did they offer him a deal?
that was the deal.
He accepted that deal.
Nope, he didn't accept it, because they were telling me, you need to tell your son to just take this, because even when they get through
When you say take this, what was the deal?
the 34 years.
34 to life or 34?
Yeah, 34 to life. He didn't accept it. They did the jury trial and everything, and that's what he had.
And so when he didn't accept, they gave him the same amount of time the judge did. Okay, that's important. Okay, second, from the standpoint of that, did he did they say he was a gang member?
No, basically the gang member stuff really didn't come into play, because actually he was from LA County, and when I moved out there, he didn't initially come with me. He still was in LA County with his father. But I had told him, I was like, you can't get away with doing the stuff you do out there. You got to be good. Just go to school and do the right thing. So he didn't even have a chance for me to enroll him in school before all of that stuff came into play.
I understand that, but he didn't have a gang enhancement.
No.
They didn't charge him with gang. They just charged him with armed robbery. Okay, and did they charge him with shooting at the police? Even though the gun jammed?
Yeah.
They still said he was attempted murder on the police. Okay, they added that. So what was he convicted of? All the charges, you remember?
That was it. Armed robbery was the main thing that I can recall. Cause I didn't pull up I have so many pages and pages. And once he was like tried as a juvenile, when he got in there, he caught another case getting into it with an inmate, another one just, but it all stems from if he wouldn't have been incarcerated as a youth, because they look at white kids. I mean, I'm not prejudiced, but their mind is not mature at 17 to make those kind of decisions. But our kids are.
When you say he got into it with inmate, did he hurt the inmate or did he get hurt?
No, he hurt the inmate and he was found with a weapon.
And so he had a weapon. So they gave him more time.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, second, when you how about his appeals? Did he file an appeal about the excess about not being charged as a teenager and not being an excessive time?
He found as far as he could, like motions and all kind of stuff. He did what he could at first, but then he spent so much time in the shoe, he really didn't have time. Like some stuff, his paperwork wouldn't catch up with him. To me, it's like you know how whatever they can to keep you down or
So he's
disappointed.
on level. He was in a level 4.
Yeah.
Yard.
And,
Okay.
and then a lot of times, like his paperwork wouldn't catch up with him, and it's too delayed motions, and it's just a lot of stuff that I really didn't understand, but it happened.
So when so they put another do when you lock down, they do evaluations of and like you say, he's in the SHU program, so he only come out for 30 minutes.
Right.
And exercise. And so, but at the same time, do we have any support with the wardens or with the prison guards that you know of?
No, none that I know of. But he had been there before, and then they had sent him somewhere else. But basically, that prison has been known for cases against inmates, and it's not really a good place for a person that has a case, or a problem with, with the police.
Okay.
So,
The other question is when they tried him at 17, did they have a fitness hearing?
I'm not sure.
No. Generally they have a fitness hearing, and maybe Machinda or the doctor could know what I'm talking about to determine if he could be tried as an adult. But you said he had a 15 and a 13-year-old. Did they charge him with child endangerment or child abuse with regards to those youngsters being with him?
No, but is this something like where you enticing a juvenile or something like that?
Yeah.
Something like that where he talked them into it, like they wouldn't have otherwise did that. And my son won't do that kind of thing like that.
Okay. But those kids are out. They've been out, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Now the other thing is like we have to find a representative from that county or a state representative from that area.
Okay.
Because it should be a Black person down there that you need to talk to. One. Second, see, that's not LA County.
Right.
You know, was it Alameda?
San Joaquin County.
San Joaquin County.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's tough. Now, I'm just trying to think of avenues in which you can try to get some type of relief or get somebody to listen to your case. But then again, you know, we don't know the status of your son while he's there. Is he fighting with guards? Is he fighting with inmates? Is he,
Oh
you know?
no, now after he done did all that time, now he's not in the shoe program. He finally started a job like a couple of months ago. He has movement a little bit now. And basically it's like the stuff that the rehabilitation, you know, they're supposed to have a job, access to this. They said he'll get a tablet in the next couple of months, you know, so.
Mm. Yeah, you know, it's rough if, you know, if they got, well, anyway, this is a challenge. What you need to consider is contacting somebody in that county and a state representative and start writing to them. Second, you need to pull the police report and the court, not the transcripts, but the court. Is his attorney, he had a public defender?
Yeah, he had a public defender.
Okay. They got some things that you can get free called minute orders.
Okay.
They help you look and see if there was any technical violations by the court or by the judge. Because like Joe said, that's a really excessive sentence from the beginning. You know, it's not like that. We need to find out why they gave him 34 to life if he didn't take nobody's life, and why they gave him 34 to life for a petty robbery. I mean, it's not like he tried to rob a Brinks truck or anything like that. And you know, what were the enhancements? I don't think they gave him that much time for the robbery. I think they gave him added time on for various enhancements. And at the time that he was going to court, they just started that a minimum sentence in California. You know, in other words, they were getting tough on crime, and they, you know, was giving people excessive time during that period in the 90s. So hopefully you can, you know, I know you've been working, and if it was any of our children that's on the air, I'm pretty sure we'd be working too. But you know, we got to find out how, you know, was there any injustice at all in sentencing him? Second, is there any ways in which he can get credit for time served and get his sentence, just come out on parole. See, when you come out on parole, you're still in custody, you're just not locked up. And if he's, but they can put you back in without even going to court if you violate your parole. But, you know, we need just a little more clarity on his mental state. Because being locked up for that long, sometimes, you know, you get, it'll drive you crazy, not being there for the funeral, not being there to see your mom, not being there, and you go through changes. So we got to find out what's the status of, did they put a jacket on him while he's there? But you said he moved from a level 4 to possibly a level 3 or level 2 yard. You say he can get out now, right? He can go outside now?
Yeah, he gets to move, he to get out. And because he didn't have access like to the law library or nothing, because every time he looked up, he was in his shoes. So now that prison is finally gonna give them, a lot of them are getting computers in other places, but they're gonna allow them tablets soon. So
That's a good thing, that he'll be able to communicate. But anyway, we
yeah,
wish him luck. I would just pull up the state representatives in that area
okay.
and see if you can get a brother or a sister. I don't know who all is in that county, who all are the assemblymen and the state senators, but they have in Sacramento
Mhm,
a commission or a committee
mhm,
on sentencing and prisons. And sometimes you can write directly to members. You can see what assemblyman is on that committee, and try to get more information about how you can spring your son. It's going to be a struggle, but
right.
and you by yourself, and I'm pretty sure you're doing a lot. You down here in Lower Compton. You're in Compton, or where you at? Where
Yeah,
you?
so close to Compton. Yeah,
But you're not up there where you were when you committed
no,
the.
I relocated back to Compton.
Okay, all right.
Thank you for the information. I'm jotting down everything, and I think I kind of like had the right ideas once I started with the chain of command. From Governor Newsom on down, and then I was going for Duran Berg and San Joaquin County because I know that she really had his best interest at heart. So I'm on the right track, but I really appreciate everybody's input. Actually, I really appreciate you guys.
Okay, brother doctor, did you have more to add?
I think Professor Rye answered a lot of questions. Because I just found out I guess he got in the hand, he got more time because he assaulted someone in there. So that's why he went to the shoe. Because if he would have done that, based on my math, he would have just 5 more years to go for his first parole date, right? So from the 80% of the 34, so you have 5 more years to go if you went to the first parole. But, now, again, let me ask you this again. Now, does he have a new parole date, an early possible release date?
It's like 2040.
That's his earliest possible parole date now?
2040 something.
Because it should have been, before the other thing happened in there, it should have been, so he's been there 22, I was gonna say like 27, 28. That's when he should have got his first parole date, right? Did you have that date down originally? So I'm looking at, because I was gonna ask Roger Key, give me 80% of 34. What is that, man? So I came up with 27. You're the math professor.
You said what now?
80% of 34.
80% of 34?
Is that 27 something?
Just 1 second. 80% of 34.
And while he's doing that math
Go
problem,
ahead.
let me just say this to you. There was a brother who was the mayor of Stockton. He just recently lost the election. That's somebody you need to contact also. I forget it,
Oh,
but
yeah.
he was the mayor of Stockton just a few months back. Okay, so get somebody to find out who that is.
Yeah, I know exactly who he is. He went to school with one of my kids. His name is Michael Tubb. He's on my list too with Duran Berg.
All right.
Thank you for that though. But yeah, I was thinking that one too. Great minds think alike. Thanks.
You was correct. It is 27.
Okay, so
27.2.
Yeah, he's been there 22 years. Yeah, he would have been coming up for his first parole date in another 5 years.
Mhm.
So I guess, like you said, something happened in there where he got more time.
Right.
So first thing he has to do is he can go fight and get some of that time back. That's going to be used his way. The time that he got, that the state gave him for the incident inside the prison.
Mhm.
He can file, and he's gonna be able to do it. He's gonna have to get most of that time back. To
Okay.
get that back down. So we're 22, like I said, he should have been 27, 28. Now he says 40. I know he can, so they gave him almost an extra 20 years for what he did in there.
Mhm.
I know he can get 10 of that back, at least half back. And I can't remember how it's done. I've been gone for a while. But I know he can fight and get that good time back, get that all that credit back. I know he can get at least half, or at least 80% of that back to put his date around 30, 31, 32.
Mhm.
So you guys have to figure that out. He can do that. So the
Okay.
next step would be, because he's going to parole out as a lifer.
Mhm.
He's going to be involved in a lifer program that he's going to have to go to.
Mhm.
Your future step is he's going to have a parole plan. You're going to
Okay.
have to get a stable residence.
Mhm.
You have to get some type of employment or school lined up before he gets out.
Okay.
He's gonna go have a little parole hearing. They may let you in, may let one other person in, but you're gonna be able to send the documents in there.
Mhm.
Tell him what you have lined up for him on the outside. It has to be something real because they will contact the companies or the school and verify everything's there. So that's going to be on his first parole hearing. But like I said, he needs to get that time back. So like Professor Ra was saying, try your other angles, but prepare for the worst.
Right.
You're going to have to get stable residence.
Mhm.
You're going to get some type of job lined up. You said he wrote a book, so you're going to have to get that in the paperwork to show that.
Mhm.
You come there, you bring the book, family members, like you say, get someone from the community to speak up.
Mhm.
And he should be able to get out on his first parole hearing. He doesn't do anything else in prison because you said this is, again, I think his first violent, he's his first strike. And I'm like Brother Joe, it's a lot of time. Then he said he did up north, so I can understand that, and that's about right. If he was down here in Los Angeles, did that, he probably got 15 to 20,
Right.
and been out 12. So he went out. He's been way out by now. But you did this up north in Sacramento, and they're gonna give you time. You up in the white area, they're gonna give you time. So my advice now would be, on my end, would be to work on the parole plan for his first hearing. But you got to get him. If you tell him he can get that time back, he'll know what you're talking about. He should be fighting to get that time back if he haven't did it already. Keep going to get that time back because he's getting his day for day, and he should be able to get some of that 20 time back, move the stuff back down to at least possibly 30, 32 when he gets out, another 10 years earlier.
Right.
And like I said, you have to get that parole plan done. If it takes that long, and I'm still around breathing, Roski is still here. Get a hold of him. I know it's going to be, trust me, 10 years, it's going to go by real fast. If he's coming near, anything changes where he's coming up for parole, get a hold of Roski, and Roski get a hold of me. And I will put you in touch with someone. I'll get something figured out for you easily.
Okay.
If it's a parole date or a parole hearing, make sure you call Roski to get a hold of me, and I throw some ideas at you guys to get you the right step.
Okay. I really appreciate that because I've heard of people buying their numbers back, or you have an attorney, because the attorneys was basically they wanted $25,000 initially. So we
No,
had
no, no, no. The extra time he got, he can do that. He can get one of the jailhouse lawyers, get that time back. He's going to get some of that time back. If he haven't got much of it, he should know. And like I said, I
right.
don't know why he haven't done it already, but he should be able to get some of that time back,
Mhm.
some of that credit back. I mean, even a little bit, because you said he's getting, the next day is 40, and it looked, like I said, it looked like his original was 27. So it looked like they gave him extra 20, which is a lot in there. And he should be at least get 10 of that back. So you're talking 30. So you're talking within 10 years, he can get, and that 10 years is gonna come by fast.
Mhm.
So if he can get some of that time back, next time you talk to him, if he gets some of that time back, get a hold of Roski Key and have Roski get a hold of me, and we'll go from there.
I will. I will. Because I definitely do appreciate that. Because I thought I heard a lot, but that's very informational. And then it's something for him to be motivated,
Yeah, like I
something.
say, we'll have it lined up. We're gonna have him going to GR, Department of Rehabilitation. We'll have all the dates lined up. So when he go to the parole board hearing, BBT, we're gonna have everything lined up for what he's gonna do when he gets out. First day he's gonna get out, he's gonna come home. The next day, he's got to go here. He's gonna have an appointment here. His next day after that, he's gonna have an appointment there. You have all these things, events lined up. Then he's gonna have to go once a month to a lifer meeting.
Okay.
And and we'll take care of that. So
I
yeah,
appreciate. I
just
really
get that time
appreciate
back. He just need to get that time back that he got extra in prison.
that. Okay.
All right.
Yep, I appreciate that because everybody needs support.
Okay. All right, thanks for that, Brother Doctor. Professor Rob, did you want to add anything to that?
I think, it's a lot it's a lot, relationships are everything. And if you got guards that say, oh yeah, he's doing good and they're working with you, and you got wardens or counselors, because it all depends on what he's doing. If you get caught with a cell phone, if you get caught with some contraband or weapons, they go by how many times you got caught, and as the doctor was saying, if he hasn't done anything for the last few years, he got a shot to get some of the time back. But if they just catch him doing stuff, smoking or with some drugs or anything, because they search your cell all the time. And they won't even let you have a junkie cell. They won't be able to look you in and see. And then at the same time, you don't know if if he's, it depends on his behavior while he's being in, if he got a shot. But still, he, are you saying that he has had no parole hearings?
And actually none that I can remember. If he did, it's been a lot of years. Cause basically I don't even remember a parole hearing. It's been a long time. I don't recall.
Do you talk to him?
Yeah, we speak on the phone once or twice a week now. And we
Okay,
were
well,
doing.
ask him as he had parole hearings.
I will.
Yeah, because that's important from the standpoint of trying to get some leverage
Mhm.
and find out what the parole people are saying.
Okay.
Like the doctor said, like Joe Henry saying, that's some excessive time for a petty robbery.
Right.
And they didn't even get away. And so we got to look at that arrest report and see if they put a bunch of stuff down there that wasn't true, and you can show technicalities that he was charged with that he shouldn't have been charged with. But you know, look at it. You know, it's wrong. But I think that he is blessed to have a mother that has not given up, staying prayerful and working hard as you working by yourself. You know, it's one thing to get advice, but you know, it's another thing to get in and you know, you got to get in touch with people that do this kind of work and got the time to do this kind of work, that take it personal, that, hey, we're going to do what we can to help you. So relationships is very important with finding agencies and organizations that work for people that get excessive sentences and unjust sentences. That's about it, Rashiki.
Thank
Okay,
you.
appreciate that. Okay, is there anything you want to leave us with, Miss Kathy?
Yes, I want to thank each and every one of you guys. The information is like a breath of fresh air. It's more for me to go harder with. I have more information, what I need to look for, the things I need to put into our conversations when I talk to them, and basically just make me still go hard for my son. But I appreciate each and every one of you guys, and every one of these ideas is going on my checklist, and I will keep you guys updated as I go along in my journey. Thank you guys again.
I appreciate you sharing with us. It's really heartfelt. I know that the system is tough, and you know, we really feel for you. So if there's like Brother Doctor said, as soon as you get some information, you know, he's a good resource, Professor Ra. And Brother Machinda, I know, I just relayed some messages from him to you. So
Right. Yeah, he sent me some messages too, but I can't really navigate good back and forth.
well, that's fine. You can check them out a
But
little
I
later.
appreciate you
But
too,
yeah,
brother.
okay. So yeah, appreciate you sharing and you know, we our good thoughts are with you. We definitely can assist in any way we can. All right. So I'd like to thank you for coming on, Kathy, and the panel for coming. And we will, like you said, you'll keep us updated, and we'll help in any way we can. So
I
next week.
appreciate that.
Okay.
I appreciate that, Brother Rashiki.
All right, you're welcome. So next week we got Brother Kwabena coming back, and it's going to be on Marcus Garvey's birthday. So we're going to be talking about Marcus Garvey's, and also we're going to extend what he was talking about 2 weeks ago, Brother Kwabena, and the Pratt family might be on with him again. So looking forward to that. All right, everybody, stay on for a minute, Kathy, before you leave.
Mhm.
You know, after the recording. All right, so Conscious Corner and Each One Teach One. Everybody have a good evening. Oh, Professor Rob, who we got for Monday of next week? You on mute.
G2 Siddiqui, from, you know, he's part of the San Quentin 7 5. He's going to be talking about the history of being one of the initiators of Black August, why people celebrate the leaders and the accomplishments we did during the month of August. He'll be on. All right.
All right, thanks a lot. All right, everybody have a good evening.
All right.